All right, hi guys. Mobilization number 3. This is going to be the oddest one. There is a disclaimer on this one, or a warning. So this is called a voodoo band. You can find these, again, in any mobilization shop. I don't know, maybe 20 bucks. It's just a huge rubber band, right? The elbow is a closed joint. What that means is a ton of the muscles, right, tie into that joint inside of the joint, so to speak. That means it's very hard to massage into there, and there can be a lot of damage inside of there that we just can't get to easily. Here's the disclaimer. If you have high or low blood pressure, this is not something for you. Now, I know you guys are all college kids, so everything should be fine, but there is some risk in that. There are a lot of very good YouTube videos on how to use these. I'm going to put it on just to kind of show you guys what it looks like, what we're doing there, and feel free to ask questions on that because this does need to be done properly, and there are things to be looking for in the palm as I'm doing this to members at the gym to make sure that they're still getting enough blood flow through their hand. So, and this is to be left on a minute or two. So you're always watching the clock. This is not something you leave on for a long amount of time, because you're actually creating a bit of a blood flow restriction in this. All right, so we're going to take this thing about, depending on the arm, maybe a quarter of the way, halfway up the bicep, and we're going to cover down past that elbow, in theory, with this thing. In that, we are going to do a few different things. We're going to stretch the muscles as we move through some range of motion on this from different points. Generally, when we stretch from end to end in a muscle. With the rubber band on here, it's going to pull the muscle from some different points, creating some different stretching points. We're going to break up some more of those knots that can form in there. And the one that I like, as we use muscles, right, we create some damage inherently in them. So this is going to be a bit of a blood flush. What I mean in that is it's going to stop up some of the blood going to the hand, and you'll probably see my hand change color a little bit on that. But that blood flush is going to help get all of that beaten up product out through the lymphatic system, right? And it's going to help pump new healthy tissue in there, or at least healthy products, so that your body can get those muscles functioning properly again. All right, so let's get this thing on. This is a little tricky to do on yourself. I usually will just wrap, squeeze, and now I can at least get a hold of that band with the other hand, right? Or the fingers. From there, I'm going over that, and I want to try to squeeze this thing down, get a good tight wrap. There we go, got a hold of it. So from here, I'm trying to relax that arm, and I'm trying to take this thing about halfway through a band each time. So maybe you guys can see that. I want to have pretty good coverage there. All right, squeeze this thing on and around. Wrap, 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 right? I want some pretty good tension on this thing. I will say, for anyone that's using this for the first time, don't go this tight. It's better to try this thing out, get used to it, comfortable with it, before you really start cranking this thing down. I've used these for over 6 years now, so I'm quite comfortable with them. And I kind of know how long I can have them on, how tight I can have them on. This is tough to do with one hand. This is where it's good to have a friend. So what I'm trying to do is just tuck this in under one of the folds. You guys can kind of see that. There we go. Finally got it in there. And tighten it down. Now what I want to do, not with this arm, not with my right, I'm going to use my left to squeeze it closed and get some rotation in there. I want to close that joint and open it. Close that joint and open it. This is not fun. Oh, it is painful. I can also take it in here, and again with my body, oops, I'm hitting the mic. With my body, I'm collapsing that elbow, twisting. Again, this is not fun. This hurts. I got some nastiness in the bicep there. Oh, a little bit in the elbow, again, pumping out. The hand's starting to turn color. What I'm looking for here is that blood returns to the hand as I put some pressure on there. So it's white, and then I see some color come back. If my hand is gray or white, then I'm going to have some problems. So that's when we got to take it off. So again, I'm here for a good minute or two. I'm hunting around. I'm trying to find some garbage in that elbow. Oh. Again, this is probably the strangest mobilization, but it works wonders. And you guys will see the blood flush come back through. And I'm moving that arm around, and you can generally feel that warming sensation. All the blood comes back in, and I feel like I have brand new elbows. This is, again, I think, a good mobilization or a good tool for every dodgeballer. You could just have this in your bag. As you get comfortable doing this, you could have a few members that do this to each other. As long as you are not, choking blood off for too long, and as long as you do not have, any blood pressure issues, this is a completely safe mobilization, even though it probably looks a little crazy. I only preface it with, just take the time to learn how to do these things properly. Kelly Starrett, he's a kinesthesiologist on YouTube. PT, kinesthesiologist, gym owner. I think his brand is the Ready State. He does some very good mobilizations with this. Squat University, Aaron Horschig is another great PT that uses these. Prehab Guys, another good YouTube channel that uses this stuff. So yeah, there you go. Voodoo floss bands or voodoo bands. It is a flossing tool that we use for different mobilizations for people. So again, I hope that helps, and feel free to ask questions.